I am Madhumita, and today I take immense pleasure in moderating this inspiring and motivating session. To make this session more interactive and fruitful, let us switch on our cameras and keep our microphones on mute. Hello, ma'am. It feels great to connect with you today. Before we start with our session, I would like to give a small introduction to our speaker. A speaker, a mentor, and an evangelist. Madhumita Gupta has 19 years of experience in the industry of user experience design, building and leading high-performance design studios all around the globe. She has worked across the map in countries like Singapore, Japan, the Netherlands, and Australia, in the companies like Honeywell, Atlassian, and now Myntra. While being as experienced as she is, her co-workers report that Madhumita exhibits a mindset of growth and discovery and is ready to go even further. There aren't many people who can step in immediately and make an impact, but Madhumita's phenomenal work and personal ethics stand out in any team, regardless of size and composition. She's passionate about design leadership, and her skills in this particular field are admired by many of the people who formerly worked with her. Other than UX design, she invests her time working with local potteries in Tamil Nadu to popularize the use of terracotta pots for gardening and farming. Adding up to this, Madhumita has also written an article for the upcoming first edition of the Weave magazine, which is going to be launched on the 25th of April. So stay tuned, guys. We are glad to have you here, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful introduction. I was feeling a little embarrassed, but also love to hear, how you are portraying my work and my experience. Thanks a lot. That was really nice of you to put together. Cool. Do we have the quorum? Shall we get started? Okay, I'll share my screen. Just confirm that you can see it. Are you able to see?
We can see it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Before I get started, I would love to hear you folks. Why do you think the session name is Neighbors Envy Owner's Pride? And I have a very old newspaper cut out as a picture. Any thoughts? You've got to speak. I will keep asking questions. So there's no right or wrong answer. I have a story for you folks, and probably a story of a time when you were not even born. But anything, I mean, whatever comes to your mind, what do you think this heading is all about?
Probably envy is related to competition, and even the pride is related to the competition.
Lovely. Yes. Any other thoughts? Thank you for sharing.
I think it's because we all have an inbuilt need to be like the superior person. So if we have the better things, we feel better about ourselves.
Sure, we want to be better than others. 1 in the tens, right? Lovely. Any other thoughts? Maybe one last before I move on. What has this to do with competitor analysis?
I guess it is the feeling while competing.
It's a feeling while competing, right? Right. Yes, we want to be proud of what we are doing, and we want to move ahead, and we want neighbors to envy us, right? Nice. Okay. Cool. I will not spend any time here because I've been already introduced. So let me start with the video, and then I will give you a brief about what this video is all about and why I think it's appropriate to have this video. I'll just play this.
It's not audible.
Were you able to hear the audio?
Oh, it's audible.
Ma'am, it wasn't that audible.
Okay, never mind. You can always go and look for iconic ads on IDA. So just a little story about this. Okay, somewhere in 1981, possibly we are not even born, a company was set up called Onida by Indians. Okay, and they joined hands with Japanese company with a hypothesis that Indian middle class families were ready to purchase products which were of international quality. Okay, at that time around 20 brands were already there in the market, just 20, and they had to stand out because these were expensive, premium TVs, and people just warming up to the fact that they could have a TV at home, right? So they were looking at what their competitors were doing. They were obviously much better in terms of technology, but they were also pricey. So they had to send out a message. And this particular ad is, if you are interested in the ad world, this was one of a very controversial ad. Many people loved it, many people hated it, but ultimately it led to a massive growth of the Onida business in the next 3 years of this launch. So the idea that they were proposing was the fact that if somebody possessed Onida, it means that they have become elite or arrived, right? And if you see at the advertisements, all other advertisements were at that time showing the greatness of the TV or the qualities of the TV, but the ad was primarily showing something shocking. Nobody at that time could even imagine that a TV could be broken, right? It's an expensive stuff there, but that's what the shocking factor was, and the devil, that whole enacting of it came out, but that was only by really challenging what is there in the market, moving away from the traditional way of advertising and trying out a different mechanism. So they were showing this ad in a TV, which probably is not an Onida TV, right? And they're saying break your current TV and move to Onida because that's the sign of being elite. Okay, so the relevance of this ad, in my opinion, why I thought it was important was look at competitors, get ideas, but not necessarily copy them. Get ideas to be unique, get your unique propositions. Okay, sounds good. So let's continue the discussion and imagine that you're moving to a first new house. You are all college students and you're going to get a job very soon, and you're probably going to get into a new house, right? Let's try to figure out what it takes to move to a new house. I would like you to share your thoughts. I will ask you some questions. So there is again no right or wrong answer. We'll do it together. Okay. So if we were to set your house, there are certain questions that you need to answer, right? Does anybody know about this known unknown matrix, or have you seen this before?
No.
No. Okay. Good. So basically, when you try to find questions, there are certain things that you already know, right? I know this is happening, that is not happening. There are some known unknowns. I know that I don't know this, right? Now, there are certain unknown knowns, means I don't know, but somebody else does, right? But they are not telling, so I have to figure it out. And then there are, I know there's no word called thunk, but it is almost saying that who would have thought or known? There's no way I would have figured it out. So that's how the known unknown metrics are formed. So taking that example of you moving to a new house, what are your knowns? Known knowns. What do you know?
The amount of stuff that we have with us.
Excellent. What do I have? Okay. What is your known unknown?
I know that I would love to have a mall near me, a school near me, but I don't know if it is there or not.
Okay, could you just repeat? Your voice little broke for me?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little better. Continue.
Yeah. I was saying that I know that I would want a school near me or a mall near me, a medical store near me, but I don't know if it is there or
Okay. But the things that you don't know is what is in your house, right? You know what you have. You have a suitcase. You probably have some. You don't have a refrigerator yet, or you don't have a micro oven yet. Couple of things that you are missing, right? You also know where are your. You don't know. You need a medical store, but you don't know where to find it. Fair enough. What are your unknown knowns?
Surrounding shops or places that are around.
Mm-hmm. Correct. What else?
Our neighbors.
Right. Yeah. But within your house, right? Within your house, you're trying to decorate your house. So stay within your house. What how will you set your house? That is your problem statement, right? So you know what you have, you don't know what you don't have. And between what you have and what you don't have, what can be improved, right? Do you want to break a wall? Can your tenant allow you to do that? Or do you want to put a new false ceiling? Do you want to put new lights? This is all about the house. Sounds good? Okay. What are your unknown unknowns? Thing that you have no idea.
The problems I might face while shifting to the new.
Possible. Yes. Yeah. But that still, I would say, is unknown known, right? Somebody else could have told you. Your neighbor can tell you if this place is safe or not, or if there are any, like in that house owner, there are some issues or not. I would still call it unknown known. Somebody else might be able to give you that answer, right? Would you agree?
If there's any incident that's happened in the house that probably nobody knows, like there was maybe an accidental damage to the water system, but it was fixed and nobody knew.
Good, good. I was almost getting spooky, like, what happened? Some secret thing happened in that house, nobody knew. Okay, so basically, again, going back to your house setup, what else can be done, right? That's kind of infinite. You don't know what else can be done, what others have done with that house setup. How have they put it all together? How have they decorated? How has they set it up? What appliances have they put? Do you need a gas cylinder or a gas just a gas stove because there's a gas line? Is there an AC? Do you need to install an AC? Blah blah, all that, right? So what else can be done? You don't have any idea. You haven't even thought about it, right? So the first two, the known unknowns and known unknown knowns, are pretty straightforward, right? These are known. The problem is these two quadrant, unknown knowns and unknown knowns, and that's where you look for inspiration, right? Not in a spooky way or a creepy way where you try to put a binocular and look at your neighbor's house, but basically try to get inspiration, right? And that's what we are talking about in the competitive analysis, that you have a problem in hand, you have certain information that you are seeking, and you want to look for inspiration. And that's where the peaking comes. Okay? One way of getting that information is peaking. You can go and live in the house of another person, but if they are not yet opening their doors, you probably could peak. So in the world of our study, you need not purchase a product from a competitor, yet you could see, okay, how their website is, or how their app is, or if you are using a hardware, you can just go in a shop and try it out. So basically peaking, right? Picking in a positive way to look for inspiration. So what are these steps to a competitor analysis? There is a who, right? Who are your neighbors that you want to pick? Would you go and peek at Anil Ambani's house? Would you be able to get any inspiration and build your house? Maybe, but most likely not, because you're a college student, you've just got into a fresher job, and you probably have limited money, right? So you probably would look at a neighbor's house who are similar to you, right? Instead of copying somebody's setup who are in a big family, a joint family, you would look for somebody who is a college student, or maybe somebody who is just like you, finished the college, got into a new job, maybe moved to a new city. Those are the people, correct? And then the next part, what is the problem that you want to get the inspiration for? What do you, again, back to your unknown, unknown unknowns and the unknown knowns. Okay. And then finally, this information that you get from the competitors, how do you use it to solve it? One easy way is to copy, but if you don't want to copy, what else could you do? How could you use that information? With me so far? Any thoughts, question? Anybody wants to share anything? Anybody has any other steps that you think I might have missed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is it understandable? Are you getting how I'm building the story, how it is coming together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Definitely.
All right. So you have studied competitive analysis in your course. Does anybody have any definition in mind? Or maybe you can make it up from what we were discussing so far. What do you think is a competitor's analysis?
process by which a company or brand markets itself.
Right, very good. So you said brand, markets. What else? What else can we study from a competitive analysis?
It is about studying how people in a situation similar to yours are doing as compared to you.
Correct. So somebody who is solving a problem that you are facing, and how are they doing it? Right? There is a problem. There's an inherent problem in the discussion. So it's basically process of evaluating strategies of your competitors. Again, I'm talking about companies because ultimately you can apply this to your life decisions. But for today's discussion, let's keep it to a solution that you will probably build in as a product or a service or software product or a hardware product. But ultimately, it's about a corporate or a company which is building a solution or a product, right? So you can study the others product features. What is their sales strategy? What is their marketing strategy? How are they leveraging social media? What technology are they using, right? What do you think are the benefits of competitor analysis? What can you learn from it?
We can get to see the thought processes of other people and their perspectives to see how they approach any problem.
And how will that benefit you? That you've learned, that you did the study, but how will it benefit you?
We don't have to start from scratch whenever we're looking for solutions.
So you can get some concept ideas, correct? But how will that help in achieving your goal? What is your goal?
So it's not always about positive thinking. It's always, if some marketing failed, we could observe that marketing and we could learn from that कि हमें ये नहीं करना है.
Correct, very good point. Somebody who is moderating, I think if you can help me with the chat questions, that will help. I don't want to keep shifting. If you can just call out what is written in the chat, that will be super helpful.
Sure, ma'am. So Nipun Bajaj is saying that maybe to help, like something different.
Okay, cool. So basically think beyond features, right? You get stronger business strategies. So if you are starting on your own, if you're building your own product, then it helps you understand the business strategy. If you're joining another company, to understand what is their business strategy and how to improve it, competitive analysis will get you there. Okay, capturing market share. It means how many people are they targeting, how many people are using their products, or their solution or services. What are their gaps? What are their opportunities? What opportunities do you have? The gaps that they are not filling could be your opportunity, right? What is your unique value proposition? So very well put, somebody said that what not to do, right? So you don't want to copy, you want to be unique. So it gives you a good idea of how to be unique, what are the things not to do, and of course uncovering market trends. So if a company is moving towards a certain direction and you observe them and you said, oh, okay, I see that this company or the set of companies are doing this, probably that's a market trend that they have understood, either through expensive market research or expensive consulting companies. You could just observe them and learn from that, right? Instead of you spending all the effort and money that probably these big companies could afford, vice versa. Okay, I saw another chat message. Be more aware of what works. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Continuing. So let's figure out who do we study, right? We discussed a little bit about who are your neighbors and everything. This is a model by a person called Mike Pono. He's a product and marketing strategist, and he calls this classification for competitor studies. So basically, your direct competitors are the people who are targeting the customer, as well as with the solution that you are also thinking of building. Let's say you're thinking of selling something through your website or app, and they also they are also doing it to the same set of customers. They are your direct competitors. Then they target the same customer but may not have the same solution. So let's say you're thinking about app, they are having something as a website, okay, or they are doing something in-house presence, right, door to door selling, okay, or they could have done a same solution but different customer, right, where you're solving the same problem in the same way but focusing on a different customer or focusing on a different industry altogether. Maybe you are into food business but you are looking at how people are doing it in the jewelry or footwear or watches or electronics or stuff like that, right? So these are how you differentiate who do you study. Okay, let's do a small exercise. Let's imagine that, and I'm bringing this example because I have Myntra as a context. So imagine you want to sell online clothes to college students. Okay, so tell me, who are your direct competitors? Who are your same customer or indirect customers from a same customer point of view and same solution point of view? Take a stab. Who could be your, you understood what is your problem statement, right? What are you trying to do? Sorry, I couldn't quite capture your inputs. Who could be your competitor? Who are your direct competitors? You folks buy clothes, right? Zara, H&M. Very cool.
Zudio.
Okay, very good. SSS, okay. Urbanic, wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, it will really help if you speak up. Moving between chat and all is little harder. Okay, so couple of things that I could think of. Urbanic, we used to have Shein. They were very focused on fast fashion, means little less pricey but very trendy clothes. Myntra, I would say, is a same solution. Let's assume you're also trying to sell it online, either through website or through app. Myntra already has a solution in that space. But Myntra is not only focusing on online clothes. So they have same solution, but they need not cover the same customer. Okay, but your local stores, right, in and around your college, there are local stores, they are catering to your colleagues, college students, and they are catering to the same customers, but they do not have an online presence. So this is how you could plot your competitors. Sounds good? Okay, I will continue. Okay, so what do you study from the competitors? So now that we have understood who do we study, let's now focus on what do you study from competitors. So you could study their business and company metrics. What could they mean? It could mean that, okay, how big is this company? How many employees do they have, right? What is their funding? How, do they have offices in one location or multiple locations? What is the overall valuation of this company, right? Let's assume user segment you want to study. What do you want to study in a user segment? Or what could you study in among if you wanted to focus on user segment? Thoughts? You can chat also. It's okay. Are you folks there, or did I put you to sleep already?
Yeah.
Must be studying user segment study, right? What covers in a user segment? Or just apply common sense. User segment means understanding who are your users. Anything? Target users? Yeah, same thing. But what do you want to study about them?
The kind of products that they seem to like more.
Absolutely. Yeah, wonderful. Very good. What else?
Anything that they tend to prefer over another, like what products they prefer and what they don't prefer.
Correct. Yeah. What are their likes, dislikes? Very good. What else?
The experience they're having while they're purchasing the product from the brand.
Wonderful. Yes. What is their current experience? What is their satisfaction, right? Choice and taste, their attitude. Their attitude while using their products. That is hard. That you will probably get from user research. Okay, but from a competitors, how will you know? What is the attitude of the users? Would you be able to? So remember, so I'm looking at Sheen and Urbanic, and you are saying that you want to see which products. How will you see their product? Which is what are people liking or not? Those which are listed at the top, right? Because things which sells more is at the top, which sells less is at the bottom, right? That you can find out what people are liking, what they are not. You can start finding a pattern. Why are they showing certain things at the top versus middle versus end? You can do that, right? Attitude, I'm not too sure. However, you could see what is the price point, right? At what price are they selling? Correct? You could check out if they have any pin code information, then you will know what geographies are they serving. Right? So there are ways in which you can figure out a little more about the user segment without directly talking to the users. That you will do as part of user research. Clear? Marketing, you can see what they're doing. Do they have TV ads? Do they have social media ads? Do they have hoardings? Right? How do they market? Do they give free gifts? What is their strategy? And of course, the product features. Right? What all features do they have? How do they help people buy the purchase? Do they give people cash on delivery? How do they? What is their delivery time, etc., etc. Sounds good. But most importantly, what I think you should focus is what is the problem that you want to find answers to from your competitors, right? So when I was kind of little taken aback when you said attitude. Is that a problem that you can find through competitors, or is that a problem which you can find in other ways? Right? So that's a very good example that you brought out, that so not all problems can be answered from your competitors. Only certain problems can be solved. And that's what you will try to frame when you decide on what do you want to study. Correct? So have you heard of this how might we structure?
No, ma'am.
You haven't been taught. Okay. So this is a very structured way of learning how to write a problem statement. Okay. So it's called how might we, because it always starts there. So the reason why we say is how might we are a team and we don't know whether we will be able to do it. So that's why it's called how might. How should, how would is not used, how might, but it's a guess you're making. So you can say what is an action. So let's say you can say I want to design, or you can say I want to build, or I want to draw, some verb, right? And then a product or service. So you could say I want to build an app or a website, or I want to build a store, I want to open a restaurant, whatever, a physical store, anything. For whom? For the target customer that you are catering to, right? That mitigates his or her current issue of why would they buy your product? What is their current issue? What challenges? So somebody said that we want to see the experiences that they are going. So is there any experience problems that they might be facing that we can check? Okay. And improves or enhances, this is your goal, that particular persona's experience in that solution that you are proposing. Okay, so basically you fill this out. We will do it together. We will spend little time to practice so that you can, if you want to, you can take a screenshot or you can just look up how might be. This is a pretty standard tool that is used to bring forth a problem statement. But it's very important. Many times we all are making the mistake of jumping to a solution without writing the problem. So I would really ask you to pay a lot of attention on the problem frame. Okay, so continuing with that idea of selling online clothes to college students, what could be your how might we statement? Can somebody put the answers, fill in the blanks? What is your action? How might we do what?
How might we sell online
okay.
clothes?
Okay. Online source for
College students.
For college students.
Okay. That mitigates his or her current issue of
Expenses.
choices. Okay. What else? What else could be possible issues that you would want to, this you would get from a user research, but you would also have some gut feeling, right?
The fashion and the budget.
Budget, very good, right? And improves and enhances what? What do you want to give them? What kind of experience do you want to give them?
The feel when they wear that product.
So what is that feel?
The confidence.
Right. Yeah, use adjectives, right? So I have taken a stab at writing it for you folks. So how might we design a minimalistic influencing experience? Because it's very important that you don't have enough funds, so you can't build a Myntra product. You will have to build something minimalistic, but you should be able to build it quickly. So minimalist influencing experience. The one which is focusing is that you will influence the college students to look at their product. Why are they not influenced? Because the other solutions are overwhelming, they're non-trendy and pricey, the budget aspect, and improves their shopping experience to be fresh and fun and affordable. Okay, somebody, you can use other adjectives also, but basically this is how you write your how might we statement. So it kind of tells you, okay, now if I do a competitive analysis, let me check if people are able to do something minimalistic. Okay, what are they doing to influence the experience, right? is there any example of fresh, fun, fresh and fun look and feel? What does that even mean? Right? How are people doing it? You can always go and ask a college student, but remember, this is not user research. This is desk research. This is what you're doing with some competitor website or mobile apps. And then you had a problem which was pricey, so that you want to make it affordable. If you want to solve the non-trendy, you want to make it fresh, and overwhelming is through minimalism, right? So these adjectives are very important, and that will help you create the parameters that you want to study. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So how do you actually conduct a study? Have you been told how to do a competitive study in the college?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. So there are different ways. So some people literally open an Excel sheet or a Google spreadsheet and start writing down all the competitors' name and figure out certain things that they want to specifically look at, right? They can put, like we were saying, right? Company overview, which is like year founded, founder names, key people to do it. For a product team, they would want to look at what are the product features. Are you able to hear me, folks?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
My internet said that there is some problem. Okay, let me know, right, if I am not audible. All right, so that's one way of doing it. The other way some people do it is look at numbers. So they read their annual reports or their sale reports and get some numbers like what is their revenue, how many styles do they have, what are the number of customers, the demographics, blah blah, a lot of numbers. You can get it again through press releases, annual reports. You can read through all of that and create graphs out of it, okay, to say that okay, this company has more revenue than others, or they have more customers than these people, but their size is this, and you can start comparing. Okay, you can also do features like product comparison. Okay, they have this product, this is your product features that you're thinking, your competitor is doing this, and then you can say attribute, right? Okay, their look and feel is not good, or price difference is not good, the models pictures are not good, they use old models instead of college students, their the interface is very what do you say, very colorful, not minimalist, too many features, etc, etc. So you can put many attributes and then start comparing and giving them some scores. Okay, and this is something which you can do for yourself or you can do as a group together, but you can get some score and say, okay, this particular feature for my company, we have a score this, and these companies are doing better than me, but there is one company which is not doing as good as we are thinking of, etc, etc. So you can do at a company level or you can do at a feature level. Okay, so these are mostly done by marketing and business folks. Because you are design folks, I have thought three particular things that I thought could be helpful, and maybe you are already learning in your college. So we'll cover heuristic approach, feature gap analysis, and SWOT analysis. Is any of these tools known to you folks?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So have you been taught about heuristic evaluation? Have you heard of this particular approach? Okay.
We know this term, but we didn't.
Haven't used it for
Thought of,
competitive
yeah.
analysis. That's fine. That's what I guessed. You probably would have heard of it. So if you've heard of it, you probably know that this is a set of 10 rules that was created by Jakob Nielsen to identify the usability of any product or solutions. There are 10 agnostic of any type of product, any type of solutions or platform. So this applies to a website or an app, or even a smartwatch, right? So how do you use heuristic evaluation for competitive analysis? So what you can do is, let's say, going back to your online clothing. So you take Myntra's website, or you can take Urbany's website, and you start looking at, okay, let me see what are their features, what are they doing well, what are they not doing well, what could be done better. You could sit together as a set of friends looking at it together, or you could do individually and then come together and share notes. But this is one way of doing competitive analysis by the website or by their you can even do something like task analysis. Like if I had to purchase, what is the flow like? If I had to wish list something, how does it flow like? I hope you all folks use some sort of an e-commerce app, right? Either Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra or anything,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So you
Yes, ma'am.
understand when I say where add to cart or wish list, what it means, right? Cool. So that's one way where you can evaluate an existing one and then say that, okay, this for a customer is not doing well. Heuristic evaluation can be also used to evaluate your own solution, but assuming that you're building completely new, you don't have a solution yet, right? But if you are revamping a product, you could do a heuristic evaluation of your own product, but that is not competitive analysis. Competitive analysis is when you do it on others or your competitors' solutioning. Sounds good? Okay, I'll move a little fast because we're running out of time. The other way is feature set analysis. So basically, similar things that I was showing you in an Excel sheet, you can do it on a Figma. SWOT analysis is strategic. Yes, correct. Okay. So you can take a website and then start writing each feature. You can take out each feature and say what are the goodness of it, what are the cons of it. I have deliberately not shown you because this is real life example from my projects, so I can't show you all the details, so it's little blurred, but you should get an idea of how we are using it. So feature gap analysis from a design perspective. So you look at it, you identify what is their content, or what are the copy, what are the text, or what are the interactions, what kind of pictures they are showing, what are the backgrounds they are showing, what is the colors that they are using. So from a design perspective, you could look at that and then do it with many competitors, right? Now, how many competitors are good for studying, you may ask. I would say don't do 2 or 3 because that's too less a number. You will get influenced by a small set, but 20 is a large number because I have a large team and there are a lot of people working together. So 20 is a great number, but yes. Okay. Thanks, Nishant. It's also that instead of 20, you could do 8 to 10, but yes, no less than 8 is what I would suggest. At least 5 to begin with. Try to join hands. 8 is a good number. 8 to 10 is a good number. Okay. Now, SWOT analysis, I think you probably know, Nishant was sharing. It's identifying what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, you could do it at a business level or you could do it at a design level also, right? What are their strengths? Could be that their interface is very clean. What are their weakness? They're probably having too much of content, very content heavy. Opportunities, they could improve the interactions or visibility of their cart. Threats, there are other competitors who are providing a faster delivery or a lower price point, so that's their threat. So you could document like that and put it in a SWOT analysis. So this is more like not screenshots but actually comments that you can put together and later on analyze. Okay. Any questions on these 3 methods?
Ma'am, could you elaborate opportunities and threats? It's a bit confusing.
Sure. Opportunities means that, so they have a feature which they have not improved. So for example, their current, let's take Myntra. Myntra's current mobile app has a huge homepage, very long homepage, long scroll. Okay, but it's also the strength because it is that we have so many things to offer, right? So the strength is that Myntra has lot of items to show. Opportunity is how can we show things which are relevant to the customers. So if I could figure out that you are a college student, could I remove all the clutter and show things that we know you like it, either because you have purchased those kind of things, or we have somehow figured out from your Instagram handle, or we know that it's still not that easy. But if we could do it, that's the opportunity, that could I understand this person and then show products which are more likely to be picked by that person. That's the opportunity. What is the threat? Let's say Urbanic is already doing great in personalization. Not that they're doing it, but if we say that, okay, Urbanic is a company which is heavily investing, because in their last press release, they have said that they have bought a company which is into data science and specializing on personalization. So there's a threat that Myntra will lose to Urbanic, because Urbanic will get it at personalization. Both are solving same problems. We have to figure out how we can use it, but that will come later. But when I'm doing the SWOT analysis of Myntra, I found the opportunities that they could be more contextual and they have a direct threat from Urbanic. Make sense?
Yes, much better clarification. Thank you.
Right. So opportunities are what could be improved. Strength is I am very good at it. Okay. Weakness is that no matter what I have done in the past, I am definitely weak at it. Opportunity means is I know I'm weak at it, but I have a chance of improving it. And threat is like somebody has already done it. My weakness is already solved by somebody else. So that's my threat in like plain Jane English. Sound good? You can do a SWOT analysis on your skills also. This. Cool. Any other questions? Any thoughts? Any doubts? Is it helping?
Yes.
Okay, if it is helping, let's try this. So you have your product idea, right? So let's say you want to do a competitive analysis. Let's forget about the tool, whether you will do heuristics or SWOT or Excel sheet or whatever. What are the things that you would want to compare with your competitors? What are the parameters that you might want to look for in the competitors that you had identified? Can you think of some parameters or topics?
Variety of product.
Variety of product. It's called catalog, right?
The amount of money they put in making the products, like the capital.
Capital, how will you know that? You will know what is the funding that they have, but of that funding, how much are they putting for their product building and how much they're putting on marketing, that you may guess, but you may not know properly. Right? But yes, you can definitely find out what is the price range they are operating at. What else?
Ma'am, since we're talking about clothes, maybe we could check the number of variations, size variations that the brand offers.
Awesome. Very cool. Size, colors, patterns. Very good. What else?
Places they can't deliver the products to.
Very smart, right? So you can try out different pin codes and see if they will say we can't deliver there, or the delivery time significantly increases. Very good. I am giving away a lot of my Myntra inside things to you folks.
What users they're primarily catering to?
Who are the users they are currently? Correct. Quality in products. Nishant, can you talk a little more? How will you find out quality in products?
Ma'am, how the user is using the product, like what the company is making. So every company has made the product, so there should be a qualitative approach in it. What
Tell me
quality
how
they
you
are
find it.
giving, what quality they are giving in their products. So it's a marketing strategy. So ultimately, it pushes the customer to get, if the company is giving the premium quality, so customer will push towards that company or brand to get the product earliest.
Fair enough, but unless you buy their product, how will you know what is the quality? From their app or from their website, how will you figure out what are the quality they are targeting? It's a good idea. I'm just trying to make you think little more to be more actionable, right? It's a good idea, but think actionable. What kind of information will you look for to give you quality idea?
The quality comes from the material, what they put into. So material should be premium, like silk or any other premium product what they have used in that material. Matlab, it should be it should not be faulty. So that material should be good. Like by touching the material, the texture of the material, the color, and well, the feel of the material will automatically changes the quality of the product.
Yes, Nishan, but all I'm trying to challenge you is, if you were to do a physical quality check, then you will have to start buying from Organic, from Shein, from Myntra, from everybody. Will it not be a very expensive one? But there are other ways of doing competitive analysis where you want to see the quality. So you touched upon the material, right? So now you will have to see what trust markers are they giving. So let's say a company which is very focused on quality, they will say that we do quality checks. There will be trust markers on that. If you go to Myntra, you will see we talk about 7 levels of quality checks. Okay.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
will also talk about give details about the thread count. So if you know a little bit about fabric, the more the thread count, the better it is, right? So if you are looking for quality information, you could look at what are the thread counts they are supporting. Okay. So you can go through some of the products. So this you can do without buying that product. Of course, you can buy it and that will give you physical, but that could be little dubious because how many products will you buy, right? You probably would buy 1 or 2, but they are selling millions of clothes. You can't judge by looking at 1 or 2 products.
Ma'am, some products can be buy from the Amazon or other sites, but some can't be buy. Like we have to go to shops. Otherwise, markets will shut if you don't go to shop, and you can't buy every time online. Like we have to purchase product, we have to go for the quality checks, user testing is also there. Like we cannot simply judge the quality of the product by starting buying from the online.
True, with you. I'm just giving you a cheaper way of doing it. I'm not saying this is the only way of doing it. You're right, you can go to a local shop and check their quality, but if you were to try out something which is available only online, then one of the ways of doing it is by the description that they're giving. You can always buy the products, you can always have but understand the pros and cons of it, right? Every method that you apply will give you some data, but you also have to understand what false data or false insight you might generate. So that is very important. Just because you have a data does not mean that will give you the full picture. Just be cognizant of that. Okay, so I'll just quickly move on. So things we did capture, right? Pricing, key features, catalog, market gaps, differentiators. These are different aspects that you could look at from a competitive analysis. So what are the next steps? How do you use this? So one of the ways of using the competitor analysis is to figure out your product roadmap. Like what features would you build? right? It could be your concept exploration. So let's say you want to try out some interaction design. You can create those concepts through the inspirations that you have got from the competitors, and then of course do your user testing to get feedback. You can create some content strategy. It's what kind of brand, tone, voice, should it be friendly, should it be formal, should it use slang, those kind of things that you could look at. Pricing and promotion strategies. What are the pricing? What discounts are they giving? What free materials are they giving? Those you can decide for your company or your product. Marketing strategy. Where will you advertise? How will you advertise? But the most crucial point is that you should continue doing this. Just because you've done once doesn't mean that's enough. You take some decision, apply it, measure it, what is the impact, and then you adjust it iteratively. You look at different set of competitors, or you go back to the competitors after a couple of maybe months or a quarter, and then you kind of see, okay, what did they add in the last 6 months? So like design thinking, this is not a one-time activity, this is a recurring work. Okay, so there are only, if you have paid attention, that's great. If you have not paid attention, I would like you to take a note of these 4 elements, because these are crucial for you to be successful. A tool with a fool is still of no use, right? So frame the problems like your life depends on it. And I'm iterating it multiple times. Unless you have a good problem to handle, you will be like moving in the dark, looking for a lot of information, but you would know which information to pick and which of. Don't copy. Just because somebody has done doesn't mean it is working for them, or it will work for you as well. Okay. Don't fall in love with your first solution. Now, be very particular why I'm saying first solution. The first solution is the easiest solution that comes through your intuition. That need not be your best solution, right? So after you've got inspired, try different iterations, try different ways of solving a problem. Don't fall in love with your first solution. And finally, challenge your assumptions, right? When you say something, you write down what is the assumption you're making, and then challenge, is this really true? Is there something that I could question in it? Can I revisit this assumption? Can I break this assumption? Just for an example, let's say we say that, okay, college students have certain budget. They will not buy products beyond a certain budget. Now it can vary between a metro city and a tier 3 city. So challenge your assumption, right? A budget, the financial capability in a tier 3 city, even within a tier 3 city, there are locales which are probably with more financially affluent people versus locals which are not. So challenge your assumption, like what is the price point that I should offer? Should it vary across the places that I'm selling? Or you can say, okay, people like these kind of clothes. North India versus South India, there are variations. College students in South India may look or try to copy South Indian actors or get inspired more from South Indian movies, whereas North Indian may be more inclined to look at North Indian movie stars or North Indian style of dressing, right? So challenge your assumptions as to the moment you kind of put a idea that this is what I think is right, question and see if you have data to figure out, to say that if this is right or wrong. Okay, that's all that I had for today. You're just 1 minute away, but if you have any questions, happy to take it. If not today, let's connect on LinkedIn. I am usually active on LinkedIn, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Guys, you can unmute your microphone and speak.
Ma'am, how have the changing trends affected competitor analysis?
Could you repeat your question, please?
How have changing trends affected competitor analysis?
Changing trends. So, for example, fashion specifically is very trend sensitive, right? So it changes by season. So when we look at in today's world, at a broad level, sustainability is a big deal, right? So now we are looking at what is the trend of people to be more sustainable. How are companies catering to sustainability? How are they applying it for the packaging? How are they applying in the products that they are selling? So somebody was talking about the material, right? So what kind of, like, are they looking at cruelty free silk? Are they looking at more hand woven local artisans generated products? So that's how we look at trends. But in the fashion world, trends change every 6 months. In fact, it changes every month, but we kind of plan for it in 2 seasons: spring and winter, and spring and summer, and autumn and winter. Any other questions? Cool. I think that brings an end to this session.
Are we
Thank
done,
you.
guys? I guess there are no more questions, ma'am. So I'll just end the session.
Sure. Thank you so much. Have fun and keep in touch.
Yes, ma'am. So I'd like to thank you, ma'am, for taking out your valuable time and sharing these thoughts with us. And it was really valuable and insightful. So it'll surely help us in our journey. We wish you the same. Best of luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Bye-bye.